Oh, really, you guys?
Yeah.
This meeting is being.
Yeah, I record those Zooms so that we can drop them on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., these drop on YouTube.
Yeah. Who edits them, though?
She sends them to me, and then I just post them straight up.
Okay. Don't hear me act like an idiot.
Yeah. Now, the audio portion, I'm going to be recording it when we get started. That will be what drops today at 4 o'clock. So,
Absolutely.
Dirty Dan, you look like you're raring and ready to go this morning.
You're muted.
There's two of them.
I am.
He's got an audio issue, so he's got audio on one and video on another.
Oh, yeah. Hey, he's so good, he's got to have two.
I could say something else, but I'm not going to.
You're just not going to because it's the truth. You don't want to hurt Seth's feelings so early in the morning.
But this really, I mean, we'll come out and do email, do segment 1. Then we'll go into segment 3 because the interview I've already got pre-recorded with Chris Sloan doing a
for the radio.
Yeah, it's a guest ghost story. That's like 45 minutes. That'll be segment 2. So I really appreciate you guys. Does anybody have any questions? Rebecca? Dirty Dan.
Why do you always assume that I have questions?
Well, no, I was starting with you and I was going around.
No, I'm all set. Actually, Dirty Dan, do you want me to run up and grab that?
Oh, your email?
Is this on Twitch too?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
are you talking about this, Rebecca?
Yeah.
I mean, I can meet you real quick halfway if you want.
Okay, yeah. Well, it'll just be easier than me trying to read it off my computer.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
That one guy sends the best emails, man. He sent one to Justin. It was hilarious.
Oh, you're talking about Bolin Cox? Yeah. I'll have to find out who he is.
Yeah, I think Justin knows who he is.
Yeah.
I need to you want me to change my put my email on the segment to something else
No, man, you can leave it at that,
Some people don't know how to spell Ambergy though. It's
well, I've got an extra account. Don't let me forget this week, and I'll just go up and set you and Earl one up at I'll make it like Mountain what was it? Mountain Appalachian Mysteries at here at Chew Bubblegum.
The Mysterious Appalachian Mountains. The Mysterious Appalachian Mountains. Yeah,
that's it.
Dude, reading all them stories and stuff, man, it makes you stutter a little bit because your throat hurts and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I always stay hydrated.
Yeah,
Dr. Pepper or Zero.
Yeah, I got to only read small stories instead of them long stories like the first one. Second one, I read a smaller story.
Oh, okay. Well, if everybody's ready, I'm going to go ahead and start recording and mute everybody's microphone.
Do it up.
We are recording, muting microphones now.
I have come here to chew bubblegum.
You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I am all out of bubblegum.
Good morning.
Good morning, Goose. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm waiting on your better half.
Well,
Grand Rising.
There it is. And we have our special guest, Mr. Seth of Seth's Daily Podcast. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
If I was any better, I'd have to go home.
So, how's your guys' week been? Dirty Dan, I'll start with you because I know that you had an adventurous week this week.
Adventurous to say the least. Some
Doesn't
downs,
even cover it.
some
Doesn't
ups, some
even-
downs. You know what? It's a new week, baby. It's a new week. That's all I got to worry about.
And I'm glad you have your car back.
Yeah. The adjuster will be out this week at some point to assess the damage of the poor little titty. Probably not going to fare too well.
Do you even want to mention that on the show?
Oh yeah, my shit straight got stolen out of my driveway last Monday morning. And then the power of social media, my post went viral on 2 different platforms. And hey, you know what? Though they might have destroyed my car, at least I know someone had fun because someone reported seeing it and they were doing 90 to 95 and my car dusted them. So
well,
you know what? At least I know someone had some fun with it like I do. Fuck it.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes. Episode 49. Thank you very much, Seth, for joining us. Like Dirty Dan said, glad to have you here.
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you guys for having me for sure.
And we are also live on Twitch this morning. Rebecca, what is the Twitch ID again?
It's at Honest Rebecca Thoughts.
So you can always tune in every Sunday morning and catch us live on Twitch and then listen at 4:00 on all major platforms where you can hear quality podcast where the episode will drop. Going to have a good show today. We have a really great interview coming up in segment 2 with Chris Sloan from the Mountain Mysteries podcast. Chris is our first guest, and we're going to have guests all month long this month telling ghost stories, and Chris is our first one. So I'm looking forward to getting to that. We've got a lot of email. We have somebody that keeps saying, email me 13 pages. I'll read it. We actually, what is it? Like three pages?
It's like 2 3/4.
Okay. So
Semantics.
I'm not sure if that whole entire email will make it in the episode or if it will be edited out, but we'll just have to wait and see.
It'll all make it.
You sound pretty confident there.
Well, Goose, are you really going to starve the listeners of an email after they finally sent one in like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Rebecca, I'll let you start off this week. I understand you have an email, and I have not saw this one yet.
No. We are saving that one.
Oh, okay. So you want to save that one? Do you want to save that one for last?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and start out then. And mine is like 4 paragraphs, the first one. It's from the listener Numb. He says, does anyone else do this or is it just me? I listen to music every night in bed. Nostalgia music and other music. My mind is so noisy at night. It's like it's on crack. I can't sleep for hours sometimes. I deal with anxiety on a daily basis. Sometimes I do great. Other days I feel like an ass. 2 days ago, I felt really bad. I felt dead inside, the worst in a long time. Feels like I have so many things to do and take care of while having so little time. Always racing against me to barely survive the day. It sucks real hard. I found that music helps a lot. When I listen to music, it's one of the rare times that my brain shuts up. All I hear is the music and no more bullshit. Useless thoughts. I also found out a few years ago that composing music also made me feel good. I'm no creative genius and I don't know how much music, but man, it feels good to compose something. Listen to it and say it works. Maybe one day I'll compose with you and Dirty Dan Roswell. And I swear that email is not from me. That could basically describe me sometimes when I'm trying to go to sleep. And I used to listen to classical music and all kinds of music.
Buddy, I think it describes pretty much anyone out there at one time or another in their life. And being a classically trained trumpet player growing up, and then being ruined, quote unquote, by finding jazz when I went to college. Everybody knows I listen to all sorts of different music, and it really does help when you're able to just sit there and relax and close your eyes and just fall into that music. Nothing else matters.
So
you
you
just
played
focus on that.
So you played the trumpet. Did you go to band camp?
I went to several band camps.
Really?
You don't want to see what they do with flutes there.
Okay.
One thing that I do want to say, like I struggle with the same thing. Like silence is not my friend. I constantly have to have noise or music, and something that has helped me significantly is looking up like the healing tones. There's different tones and frequencies for different parts of your body and different chakras. And the other thing that's really helped me is the binaural beats.
I've actually listened to some of those too, because you can get some of those with meditation. You can get some of those from YouTube with music or thunder or rain sound effects.
Well, Goose, didn't you have the story about the someone that makes the binaural beats, and they had someone quit smoking from it?
Yes, I do. And you actually know that guy too, Seth.
Oh, really? Who is?
Yeah, he doesn't live around here anymore. He lives, I think, in South Carolina, but his last name's Huff.
Oh, really?
Yes. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Seth? Do you ever have problems falling asleep?
No, man, definitely not. I used to, man, but I would always listen to like 532 hertz, like the frequency of like XXX Tentacion was actually the one that put me on that, man. RIP X, man. He definitely was a big inspiration to me. He definitely woke me up with knowledge and stuff about like what foods not to eat and how much water you should drink and all that stuff. And he definitely woke me up about the 532 hertz as well.
Hey, he was ahead of his time for sure.
Yes, he was. And I'm going to try to eat better this week. I've ate garbage pretty much all week. It's just been one of those weeks at the cookie factory where I would just drive through. So, and I don't like that. That's just exhausted my energy this week.
Oscar, you're a grouch. Bitch, you live in a fucking trash can. Sorry, Dave Chappelle's last week. I know. I digress.
Rebecca, you want to go ahead and go next with the ones that we emailed you?
This one is from Jeremy. Hello, Goose and Dirty Dan. Last year, people panic bought toilet paper. What is something that you panic buy that isn't your typical item? I'll listen for your answer.
Dirty Dan, you want to go first with that?
I refuse to panic buy anything.
Okay. Well, but like, what is something? Oh, okay. What is something that you're well stocked up on that you have to have?
Horse dewormer.
There you go.
Ivermectin. No. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea. I think it's and you know, in a zombie apocalypse type situation, this would be useless, but it's going to be light bulbs for me.
Oh, I got LED light bulbs everywhere, and I didn't even try to hoard them. It started out by me dropping a brand new pack. So right above the fridge on the cabinets, there's like this little there's two different cabinets there, like the little pantry kind of cabinet, and then we have some like glassware dishes and stuff up there,
right?
And in between the end of that and the wall apparently is a 4-inch wide space, 8 foot down, and I put the light bulbs up there so that I could keep changing them, and I had no idea. And I put them up there, and all I hear is thunk, thunk, crash. And I hear all these brand new LED light bulbs break. I'm like, son of a bitch.
What about you, Seth? What's something you're well stocked up on?
Mountain Dew for sure.
Mountain Dew. So
yeah,
Marble Skeet.
Gotta have Mountain Dew, man, and also soap as well for sure.
Yeah. You know, I mean, yeah. For me, you know, and like I said, I know that would be useless in a zombie apocalypse, but you know, light bulbs. So
Mountain Dew gives you energy though.
well,
you got to you got to start stocking up on potatoes then, Goose.
I need to stock up on treadmills because if we had a zombie apocalypse, I could just put them outside my house facing backwards. And when the zombies came, they would be walking on a treadmill.
That would be kind of amusing to watch them just take the step and swing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Dirty Dan, I'll let you take the next email.
All right. We have Tara writing in. When will Luke Fugate be back on the show? I follow him on YouTube. His experiments are amazing. Keep the ear candy coming, guys. Say hello to Ned, Elliot, and Rebecca too. Roswell. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello, Tara.
Thank you very much, Tara, for that email. Luke will be back in the next few weeks. We're actually working out details to try to get him in the studio or pre-record or record an interview with him. But he will be back. He's an avid listener. He actually let us use some of his footage last week, and we'll probably have some more of that up in the future. So, but Luke is, Justin describes Luke as like the mad scientist type guy.
I definitely agree with that.
Oh, I'll go ahead and go with the next one here. Aaron says, greetings, Goose and Dirty Dan. First, I want to start by saying thank you for the free quality entertainment that the podcast, radio show, and YouTube videos provide me and so many others. The show is great. Second, I'm glad to see that the Midweek Moment is back for season 2. Great job to Dan with the first episode. Finally, I'd like to request a show where you talk about nothing but Antarctica. Antarctica is a strange and fascinating place. I think it may hold many, many secrets. I think that one day we may know what they are. Roswell. Yes, Rebecca, go ahead.
Can I please be on a part 2 Antarctica episode? Because I know that was one of the first episodes that I was on with you when you first found me.
Yes, you can. And we'll probably try to do that sometime in December. We'll have an Antarctica episode.
After our Office episode, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And we're actually going to do the Office episode the first Sunday of November.
Right.
So, but we'll definitely schedule Antarctica for some time in December. And this individual that wrote in, I just want to throw out, this is not the one.
Yeah, that's what I just texted Rebecca.
Yeah. This is a different one that has wrote in many, many times. This one's actually from Kentucky.
So. I can tell just by the way it's written.
Yeah.
So. Okay. I once I started reading it, I wanted to throw that out there. Seth, what do you think about Antarctica?
Man, I don't know much about Antarctica. I just know that's where scientists like stay at every now and then and stuff and study like penguins and all that stuff, man. But
he's so innocent.
It's adorable. We love that for you.
There is a lot more than that going on there, my friend.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
Seth.
You and I can have a conversation about Antarctica sometime.
So, Seth, if you ever have free time on your hands, and I suggest this to all the listeners too, to prepare yourselves for this Antarctica episode, get up the Google images and then go back in time on the map and you'll see structures changing. You'll see giant voids or holes open up out of nowhere. And there's also the front half of a Kilo class Russian sub I found on there, just laying on the ice.
It's also posted in my Telegram somewhere. I can dig through it and find it and like repost it again, but it is posted in Telegram at one point. And
one of the Here to Chew Bubblegum episodes from early June would be the one Rebecca first came on with that.
Yeah. You need to join the Telegram, Seth, if you've not done that.
Absolutely, and everybody else should as well.
There you go.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless.
Thank you.
Rebecca's got the next email from one of our favorite listeners.
Dixon09. Hey, Goose and Dirty Dad, it's your favorite Dixon09 here. I can't say this word. Did you give us specific? It's specific, okay?
Okay.
Why do you give me these? Did you give a certain date when Elliot's articles will be back on the show? Thanks for taking time to read my email. Roswell.
They will be on, the entire Spooky family will be on the show in a studio, I think October 24th. I think that's when they'll be in. Elliot's articles will be back soon. We do have in this episode and all the radio shows, we're going to be doing like for a month long, a Kentucky spooky story that will last anywhere from 2 minutes to 40 seconds. And Elliot did give us a voiceover introduction for that. So if you're a fan of Elliot, just hang around and you'll be hearing that soon. We now move on to the book, AKA the big email.
Not that big.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I mean, it's really not that much bigger than the one that a certain someone sent me last week.
Yeah. Now, this guy, too, has wrote in before. It's been
Yes.
quite a while that he's wrote in.
He's just making up for the other weeks he didn't get to write in.
Okay.
Look at it more positively, Goose.
Dirty Dan, take it away.
All right. Well, longtime listener and writer in, Lando, says, "Hey guys, I found this on the internet and I decided to copy and paste it here. The Native Americans supposedly originated from China. When China was going through another period of booming, they somehow lost contact with their Chinese colonies and they degenerated. They developed a system of astral projection that they used to be with the spirits and reunite with their ancestors. They asked repeatedly for modern systems or modern technology, but after several thousand years of being in contact with those spirits, they never came. The Byzantines were given many important technologies over thousands of years that they migrated and progressed. They had the Ark of the Covenant, Lord Jesus Christ, Constantine, Charlemagne, Da Vinci, Arthur, Robin Hood, Victoria, Tesla, and others. I find that bizarre because when the British invaded America, they had industries. The Americans had no concept of industry at the time. They were still in teepee huts. The North Native Americans had 13 countries and the contingent United States. The British eventually formed 50 states under a federated government. The natives were not considered people, and they had farming, housing, clothing, trade, reading, writing, military, and espionage systems, but no industries. They were dragged out of their lands and enslaved. And when they could not survive slavery, they were dragged onto reservations. The Europeans were able to spread smallpox under the guise of humanitarian relief because they knew about optics and germ theory. The current Byzantine territory is now a Muslim nation. The Muslims only care about killing non-Muslims, denigrating? I think he meant degenerating women, and world domination. It would seem to me that whenever the Native Americans prayed for something, it appears that in Byzantine. It looks like a weird mix-up of communication that has to be recognized. All of the modern technologies appeared in Byzantine and Europe, and nothing appeared in America. Did the Americans at one point evolve beyond the need for industry, then forget about or destroy the technology? Rather than spiritually being the norm in Europe, like it was in the Americas, when I can't say this word. I struggled with Rebecca the other day.
Spirituality.
Thank you. Being the norm in Europe, like it was was taught to them the way that technology was taught in Europe. European countries had a dedicated priesthood rather than specialists like the medicine man. Rather than monks constantly having to spread the word and the knowledge, the medicine man's authority was unquestionable. Native Americans were supposed to believe that the medicine man was right because it was revealed by the spirits. And if anything went wrong, it was the spirits doing. Monks had to ask other monks to gain an understanding of what they were saying. Monks had to be trained to be monks, and then they lived in abbeys. The medicine man, because it was more spiritual, and he roamed about alone. Rather than having the power of the spirit and the authority of being right on their side as a determinant of who wins conflicts in America, the Europeans had to have some device given to the Europeans or the Arabians, which had the power in it. I just want to take a pause right there real quick. And the medicine man was actually one thing I learned about in school.
Mm-hmm.
And reference back to the history teacher that went out and what did I miss?
Nothing, man, nothing.
I don't believe y'all for a second because Rebecca has a shit-eating grin and you're over there laughing.
No, I'm just listening to the email.
We're listening.
You two are terrible liars, and specifically you are going to pay for it. Anyway,
you just have to watch the playback.
Oh God. Well, I do. The other one that you're in cahoots with refuses to listen to any of our stuff. So
I'm here for it. Why do I have to watch it back?
That is the most egotistical thing I've ever heard.
No, it's not. I listen enough to make up for her. So
You and I
Thanks,
both.
Goose. Thanks, Goose.
you're very welcome. So did you lose what chapter you were? I mean, what line you were in there?
No, sir.
Okay.
I've had my finger on it.
Okay.
Thank God.
And Lando, we really appreciate you writing in.
Well, to be fair, he did say he copy and pasted this.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and you can also check out the Here to Chew Bubblegum Facebook page, and you can share stuff on there as well.
Oh, you know,
I'm just saying.
Goose, we've been saying all this stuff to share and get contact with us for how long? And if that just came up, I feel like a dumbass. And the TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, TikTok can only be 3 minutes max. I think this email would probably be a lot longer than that. So,
But besides that point, they were obelisks that were in place or foundations where they were missing, found in the Americas, and many other relics that were no longer functioning. I'm going to turn my attention and watch you guys while I read this. We also still have the Ark of the Covenant, but it also does not work. The Ark of the Covenant was a complex device that actually had to be operated and carried and understood in order to work. When it worked, the electricity was loud and visible and deadly. The obelisk works passively as long as it's installed and makes no sound or heat or other visible phenomenon. Why was the Ark of the Covenant project not replicated in the Americas if it worked in Arabia? If a person gets sick in America, they go to the medicine man. But if they want a second opinion, they went to another medicine man. They had no concept of doing medicine any other way. In Europe, however, scientific medicines were slowly replacing Christian medicine. The constitution of the environment could have also been a factor. Much of America was a wet marshland where food was relatively abundant. In a wet, soft carbon earth. More on carbon capture shield coming up in a few episodes as well. Much of Arabia is a dry, sandy, hard silicon earth. It contained many other heavy metals that would be filtered out of the carbon environment because the living things cannot process these materials. The silicon sand is a heavier, more complex material that, along with other heavy metals, are used in modern computer systems. The hard sand is more responsive to sound and better refracts light. It could also be true that the people there above and below are more sensitive to the sound signals present in that area. Also, in the drier lands, it makes it harder to survive, and people have to make risky decisions more. Thus, their descendants inherit the sensitivity trait. They will not only hear, but will also be driven to do things that they hear much faster. But as they live outside of the desert, they lose the sensitivity and become more confused by the wet, dampened dirt and water. This is more obvious in a most recent engagement where an army of people who had equipment and experience became confused and lost to people who did not make as much sense, but were willing to do the things to achieve their objectives so much that death was not an object for them. I wonder if there is a theory out there like that somewhere. Please help if you can, even by spreading the word. So that email, Rebecca,
it's over.
Touches on some of the stuff JC was saying last night.
Yes.
But I
people were actually clapping. Did you hear that when you got done reading it?
I heard. I guess you'll have to watch the playback of my facial expression at you.
Lambdo, thank you very much for the email. Could you read that one part again where it was talking about the silicone sand is heavier? I'm totally joking. Please don't.
So
no. I'm going to go on with the next one. It's from Steve. He says, "Hello, Goose, Dirty Dan, and the rest of the Here to Chew Bubblegum gang. I was recently watching a PBS documentary and wanted to relay the following quote. The quote is, we are made of stars stuff. We are away from the cosmos to know itself." End of quote. A word of wisdom from Carl Sagan. That is what it said, and I just wanted to share it with you. Thank you very much, Roswell. Thank you very much, Steve. Rebecca, Seth, you guys got any thoughts on that quote? Seth, how about you?
Oh no, man.
I've not researched Carl Sagan much. And for
I don't
some
even know
reason,
who it is.
well, I know who he is or what he's done, but I've not, I don't really have an opinion on him, I guess. So, Rebecca.
I want to say like so we are made of star stuff. We are away from the cosmos to know itself. And I think what it's trying to say without looking it up or, having any other context to it, basically like we are of the universe and the universe is within all of us and connecting everything together creates source. That's my take on it.
I like the way you described it a lot better. Let's see, Dirty Dan, do you want to take the next email?
Yes, sir. We got Misdemeanor Mike writing in.
And I think this is the first time he's ever wrote in. So,
well, hopefully Misdemeanor Mike writes back in for the office and Misdemeanor Mike can meet Prison Mike.
Oh, and he may get to meet Date Mike.
Oh, Date Mike. Oh. Hi, I'm Date Mike. Anyway, hello, Goose and Dan. I've got a shortwave radio and have been monitoring the 2M band. I'm picking up a strange communication that appears every 3 days between 145 megahertz to the 176 megahertz. In the Derbyshire area again, it's a single voice that gives a garbled call sign followed by a more legible message that's a mix of the phonic alphabet and polarly lasting for about 3 minutes, broadcasting at 11:04 and 11:16 every 3 days. I have partially decoded the message and believe it's a message to other time travelers of the location of a stranded time knot. If anyone else listens to the show and has a short rave radio, please write in and let me know if you have experienced this as well. Roswell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Meaner Mike. To all of our time travelers or shortwave radio guys. Please, you can tune in to 145 megahertz to 176 megahertz every 3 days at 11:04.
Derbyshire area.
Yes. I've not really, I don't have a shortwave radio. I've not really messed around with that a whole lot. Seth, what about you?
I mean, some people actually use it for like a ghost box and stuff. Like you scan stations and just keep on going. I did the same thing, like just kept on going. Like it just goes from every radio station. And actually, it could have been a spirit, honestly.
I was just going to say, because Derbyshire's in the UK, it's England. And especially right now, right now there was a lot of loss 70 some years ago in a world war there.
Yes.
So it very well could be a spirit stuck.
You could be right.
We call it the ghost box.
The ghost. Okay. Now I have heard of that. The ghost box.
Yeah. You can get it at like Radio Shack and you like go through different frequencies and stuff and it just goes through like different like AM or FM and you can switch it. On FM, you can hear voices way clearer than AM for sure.
Rebecca, you want to take the next email?
This is from Dave. Hey, Goose and Dirty Dan. I'm loving the show lately. I've noticed that you've been putting a lot of YouTube content, which I'm enjoying as well. I'm looking forward to October with the ghost stories and included in the show. Also, happy early anniversary.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes, we have been dropping a lot of YouTube content, and we will keep on going. And thank you very much for saying early happy anniversary. So,
Goose, why don't you take this last email? This is, I think this is a bigger thank you to you.
Oh, okay. It's from Jay. It says, hello, everyone. I'm a new listener, and I just wanted to drop a few lines and say thank you for carrying on the legacy of Art Bell Roswell. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you very much. Now we have one more email left, and I'm going to listen to this, and hopefully it's a good email. So.
Oh, it's good.
Seth, hold on to your pants here, boy. You're going to be in for a treat.
Well, Hopefully, Seth, you have pants on while we're.
Well, I mean, he's in an island paradise, so if he's smart, he's got a banana daiquiri and no pants on right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna interrupt all that's going on here. This was an email that was privately sent to my email, and it is titled "Gone but Not Forgotten," and it is from Bolin Cox.
Oh, okay.
Dear Rebecca, first, I'd like you to know that little Billy Stephen Donnie Ray wants me to tell you that you're his #1 fan. He spends many nights and days out in the shed praying hard that one day he'll get to meet you in person. I've personally never seen someone invoke the Lord in someone like you have in little Billy. Most days he prays so long and hard it's difficult to get him to stack the hay and do the other chores he's supposed to get done. It's been a weird week out here on the trail. After Dirty Dan read my intimate email last week on the show in his mangelic way, Sally Jean Sue persuaded me to take a plunge and take pictures and a video of my condition. It was a huge mistake. After she had flashed all the pictures and recorded the extensive videos, I went to send the case file to Here to Chew Bubblegum, but something horrible happened. Instead, I sent the picture and the video to my Uncle Herb. Uncle Herb was an older gentleman and unfortunately didn't listen to your podcast. Sadly, Uncle Herb was found on the floor, phone in hand, and one eye popped out of his socket. Seeing my condition was a fatal shock to Uncle Herb. The family is placing no blame on anyone. Uncle Herb lived a long life out here on the trail, and Sally Jean Sue and I have decided not to send the pictures and videos to Here to Chew Bubblegum because we don't want to risk any further pain and possible damages. We both love you all so much. Sally Jean Sue also wanted me to inform everyone that little Bobby Ray Stevenson Dave will not be doing any kind of porno. We just can't chance it, and we'll keep earning our money honestly. I hope this didn't bring down the aura of the show. Out here on the trail, we don't have much to look forward to, and Here to Chew Bubblegum is our only entertainment we get the entire week. You guys continue to stun the world with your content. The best thing to ever happen to the show is when it gained honest thoughts. Moving forward, it's getting close to Halloween, and here's a 2-part question to you, Rebecca, Dirty Dan, and the Barbecue Man and Goose. I'm sorry, here's the 2-part question to you, Rebecca, Dirty Dan, the Barbecue Man, Goose, and whoever else may be in the bunker this week. Growing up, what, if anything, was something unexplained that happened to you during the season of the witch? What was your favorite costume you dressed up as during all the years of celebrating All Saints Eve? Roswell, Bolin Cox. P.S. My favorite costume was when I was 10 years old. That year I'll never forget when Ma and Pa was able to splurge and buy me the official costume of Victor Willis. It was so magical. Like Victor always says, we're all stars.
Thank you very much, Bolin Cox. Dirty Dan, do you want to go first with his questions?
Well, at first, I'd just like to say that after that intriguing email, I was very pleasantly surprised and even more intrigued with the thought that went into those 2 questions with the correct names.
Yes.
So now I want to know even more. Second, I hope Marsha Sue Jane is still liking the tube steak. And now I can answer
Sally
that.
Jean Sue.
Marsha Sue Jane is the one who I converted from girls back to tube steak, Rebecca.
Oh, okay. So my apologies.
Sally Jean Sue is his wife who helped his friend get milked back to life after he got kicked by the horse.
Listen, I need a fucking flow chart for all of these people. Okay. You know how this works.
It's the trail. All right. So
I think maybe if we look hard enough, we could find Bolin Cox on the map.
You know, I'm starting to wonder about that.
and Rebecca turned around to look at the map. So
I am starting to wonder about that.
Go ahead, Dirty Dan. The question was, what was one of the first your favorite costume, and one of the first spooky things?
So I'm gonna answer the second one first, because I was always one thing as a Halloween kid, and that was a fireman. And my mom has told Rebecca that recently. I always wore a fireman costume, and then I became one. So, but the spooky thing that happened to me, it was actually with some of my fellow band campers. and we had gone trick or treating, if you will, i.e. just searching out candy, and we were all sitting there, and Kurt was his first name, had a, God bless, a Geo Metro. I don't know if you're familiar with that little 3-cylinder car.
Yes.
I'm sorry, a Prism, not a Metro, not the SUV, the Prism, Geo Prism. We were sitting there, and the four of us were all just laughing, having a good time, talking about something that actually happened with a band event. And this non-power lock, non-power window car, stick shift, literally lights turned on, door popped open, and it rolled. Scared the hell out of us. Don't know anything else that happened from that or with that. Don't know how it happened. And that is, honest to God, the only spooky encounter I can honestly say I have that's unexplainable.
For me, my favorite probably Halloween costume was dressing up as a cowboy. And I'm talking about with the authentic gun belt and everything, you know,
and,
like a real,
and just assless chaps on, nothing else.
No, I actually had, you know, jeans on and chaps. Yes, Rebecca, go ahead.
All chaps are assless. I don't know why we have to like distinguish assless chaps. There are no chaps that have an ass.
Ooh, she got you, buddy. She got you.
Not really. I just said them by the title, and I guess I misspoke anyway with you, and they should have been chaps full of ass for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you're saying that I don't have an ass first, that means you're looking at my ass. But the cowboy thing was probably my favorite costume, and I didn't really have anything spooky happen until I got older. I have saw stuff before, like, you know, that was there, and then I would turn back and it wouldn't be there. And that's about it. What about you, Seth? What was your favorite Halloween costume when you were little?
Oh, man, definitely dressing up as John Cena. I was a big John Cena fan, man.
There you go. There you go. What about anything spooky that you had happen to you? Like first
man.
thing.
That could be 1,000 things, but definitely one that comes to mind is at the Opera House Theater in Cynthiana, Kentucky, and we went on a paranormal investigation there, man, and a ghost actually touched me on the shoulder, and on the ghost box we asked, "Did you just touch him?" And we got a clear answer saying, "Yeah."
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. What about you, Rebecca? What was your favorite Halloween costume when you were little?
Oh, I think my favorite Halloween costume when I was little, like not like high school or anything like that.
Right.
I went as a genie. I was very excited about the genie costume, and I remember my mom trying to get me to wear a coat. You remember, because before they started fucking with the weather hardcore, it used to be cold in Halloween in upstate New York.
Yes.
So I was very pissed off that I had to like wear a coat over my costume, because that like defeats the whole purpose. And I think one of the like, I mean, I've had a lot of freaky things happen, but the one that I was like thinking about what I wanted to tell, I was driving on like back country roads one time. I was driving from my house to my boyfriend's house at the time, and I saw this, like there was like trailer parks on one side of the road, and then if you cross the road it went into this cornfield, and it was just nothing. Like there was just nothing. And I saw something like step out of the cornfield, stare at me like as I was driving, like my headlights were on and everything. I saw it. And then I drove past it, and it was like looking at me, and then it disappeared into the fucking corn, and it was not human.
Wow. That's a lot freakier than what mine was.
This isn't a competition, Goose.
No, right. But I'm just saying. I want to thank everyone for writing in with their emails. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606. Listen to this number, Dirty Dan, 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Or they can email us. How can they do that, Dirty Dan?
It's 606-373-3396. I got it. You can email us at goose@heretechewbubblegum.com, Dirty Dan at heretechewbubblegum.com, and Rebecca at heretechewbubblegum.com. You can also email the rest of the gang, Ned or Elliot, at heretechewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
We're going to take a break and come back with segment one. And segment one, we'll have some UFO news. Dirty Dan will have a spooky story to share with us. And we'll also talk about Demi Lovato in her latest interview. And we'll mention the Space Force. What are we listening to, Dirty Dan?
You are
Here's your
listening.
bubblegum.
Thank you, Rebecca. We'll be right back. That was awesome. I'm going to pull this file out real quick.
I'm sure you are.
That's what she said. It was like this like slender man. Like it was really tall and thin, and like the head was big, and you could tell like it didn't have clothes on. I don't know. It was super weird, and it like came out of the corn, and then it went like back in. It was, and it just like
The children of the corn.
like watched me. Yeah, right.
Sounds like a demon.
Yeah, probably. Can we curse? We can curse the whole fucking time. This isn't the radio show. This is the
No, it's
podcast.
not the radio show. And damn, that email was a long, long email.
Yeah, but like there's actually there's like 4 distinct parts in it that are actually really intriguing.
Yeah.
Well, if we want to talk about like the silicone based things, I mean that kind of ties into like the giant animals that you see and the old stumps of giant trees, right? Like if shit was petrified, and that's how those things came to be, because things used to be silicone based instead of carbon based.
That makes sense. We'll do segment 1, then we'll take a break and then come back and go straight into segment 3 and close out. And segment 3, we'll just plug and bullshit a little bit. So this will be probably 2.5 to 3 hour show today, probably. So it will definitely, I would say, be over 2.5 hours, or right at 2.5 hours.
I'm gonna say 2 hours, 28 minutes.
Well, then I'm gonna throw in an extra commercial, so you'll be wrong. So it'll be
Just to be a dick.
I am hitting record. Seth, when I point at you, just bring us back, or when I point at the screen, just bring us back. Just say, welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Welcome back to Here at You Bubblegum with Goose, Dirty Dan, and Rebecca, and me, the special guest, Seth from Seth's Daily Podcast.
Very good job,
I
Seth.
love it. I love it.
Thank you very much for bringing us back.
I love that. Should I plug myself as a special guest?
Yeah, man. Like Seth, you're part of the Here to Chew Bubblegum family. You can plug yourself anytime.
Yeah,
want
you
to.
got segments now, bud.
So, yeah, and we're going to be talking about your segment coming up in segment 3 of this show, so you can tell everybody about that as well.
Absolutely, man. Definitely having a lot of fun doing that segment. Me and Earl are.
Good. I'm going to start out with some UFO news and to follow up on a story that I read, I think last week on the podcast show. Lockheed executive refuses to comment on video exposing a mystery aviation technology on secret testing base. The general manager of Lockheed's most secretive arm, known as Skunk Works, refused to comment Tuesday on a mysterious aviation technology spotted recently at Lockheed testing facility in the Mojave Desert outside of Palmdale, California. A video began making rounds on Twitter September 22nd, exposing an oddly shaped, sleek aircraft being loaded onto a flatbed truck. The video was reposted by Ruben Hoffs, an aviation enthusiast who says he stumbled across it on TikTok. But the main guy, general manager of Lockheed's Skunk Works, refused to comment on that. Have you saw a picture of that, Dirty Dan?
I have.
Okay. What's your thoughts on it? I think it looks like a more advanced stealth bomber.
So they've been in the works of making a stealth bomber or a more advanced flying wing kind of deal. And it was accidentally announced about, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, and then suddenly redacted that it was heading for air trials. So I think that's exactly what it is. Either that, or they've got a new series of black money stealth drones that one of them got caught. Because you can't really tell if there's a manned cabin or not on it.
Right.
So I'm sure we'll find out in 25 years later, 25 years from now what it is.
Oh, yeah. UFO sightings are on the rise nationwide. There has been a spike in UFO sightings across the nation with the most recent release of U.S. intelligent UFO reports. There are just more people looking up in the sky, or is it something else? 2020 produced 7,200 UFO reports, an increase of over 1,000 from 2019. The U.S. government and military confirmed investigations and sightings of UFOs, bringing the phenomenon back into the mainstream media. A Florida resident recently caught 2 orbs on his home security camera. The video shows lights moving rapidly across the flame. Further examination of the video to see if it was logical, if there was a logical explanation, such as drones, satellites, or birds, was inconclusive. Without a definitive answer, it does raise the question, are we alone? Seth, I ask you that question. Are we alone?
Definitely not, man. I definitely believe in UFOs, and I believe the spike in seeing UFOs is because people wasn't able to go like to bars or anything, and they had to stay home, and people went outside and did grilling and stuff like that.
And they've gotten curious.
Dirty Dan probably seen one out there too while he was barbecuing.
I have seen several things in the air at night that I've questioned, but at the end I don't hold any value in the question because I do, not that I believe, but I firmly know we're not alone.
Rebecca, are we alone?
No. The other thing, was it on Ancient Aliens that I was watching? I don't know. I was like falling asleep, so I don't know if
yesterday
it was, like, I was getting like bits and pieces, or if it was something else that I was researching. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, it happened that the UFO sightings spike and increase in times of panic and in war times.
That was on Ancient Aliens yesterday.
It was on Ancient Aliens. Yeah. Okay, I couldn't remember where I did it, and I like got to thinking about it. I'm like, holy shit! Like they're not wrong in that statement. And also, I mean, as we become more aware, as we expand our minds and open our pineal gland, and we see things that we couldn't see before.
Well, and not just that, you got to think though, with the times of war and whatnot, especially now in these modern days versus 30, 40, even longer years ago, whether no matter what political party side you're on, no matter what your views are, if you have any sort of news watching or reading capabilities, you see that everyone is arming themselves with large missiles to the gills across the world. So you're always going to want to look up and be curious about that and go, what if? And with so many more people doing that and being in
they're catching it.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that it hasn't grown by 200%. It only went up 1,000 total sightings from last year.
Well, just what they're releasing.
Right.
Yes. Good point. And I don't think we're alone either.
Wait, Goose.
Yes.
Are we alone?
No, we're not.
Somebody had to ask you.
Dirty Dan, go on with your spooky story for us. Get on with your bad self.
Oh, get out with your bad self. All right. So this story was published the end of July this year. And it's titled "A Ghostly Testimony Leads to a Murder Conviction, a centuries-old mystery of the Portsmouth Valley Inn." In the quiet town of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, lies an old home, Known today as the Valley Inn restaurant, it sits on the original footprint of a site where a mysterious death took place. It isn't so much the age of the inn that draws the people to it, or the mysterious death that happened. It isn't even the knowledge of a man once convicted of murder that once lived there. What draws people to this old historic structure is the fantastic story of a ghost testimony that led to the conviction and execution of a man. In 1673, Rebecca Briggs Cornell was found in her room. Her son, Thomas Cornell Jr., lived with her and found her lying dead on the floor. It appeared that she had fallen and hit her head. The fall landed the upper part of her body in the fireplace. She was burned from the shoulders up. What seemed to be an unfortunate accident quickly turned into a murder investigation. A visit from beyond the grave. A few days later, Rebecca's brother, John Briggs, who also lived in Portsmouth, awoke in the middle of the night. He claimed that the apparition of his dead sister stood in his room. The frightening visit from his sister prompted Mr. Briggs to go to the authorities and demanded an investigation into the murder of Rebecca. With it being the time of the witch trials, people were understandably in a frenzy over the story that John Briggs had told. His nephew, Thomas, the only plausible suspect during that time, was arrested and put on trial. And remarkably, he was actually convicted solely on the extraordinary testimony of his dead mother. Thomas Briggs Jr. was then hanged a short time later. He was buried on the property in an unmarked grave. And for 356 years, it has been believed that John Briggs saw his dead sister, who told him her son was her killer. That is, until a paranormal investigation team recently went in and uncovered the details about the case and the family that went unnoticed for over 3 centuries. Family controversy leads to ulterior motive. Upon the paranormal investigation conducted by the Kindred Spirits crew from the Travel Channel, it was discovered that John Briggs was an important figure in the community. Anything that he said would have been believed. It was also discovered that there might have been some bad blood between Rebecca and her son, leading John and others within the community to think that he had a motive to commit the murder and take his mother's life. However, when studying the original court transcripts, the shocking revelation of John Briggs' true statement was discovered. In his testimony, he never actually stated his sister named her killer. The documents only state that he had seen Rebecca in his room, where she said, "Look at how I am burned." Secrets and betrayal. During the investigation of the inn, the crew believed they were communicating with the spirits of Thomas Cornell Jr. and John Briggs. In a surprising twist of events, it seems the spirit of Thomas outed his uncle by confirming that he was put to death by hearsay. Gossip in the time of deep spiritualism and fear of the devil drove the townspeople mad with a desire for revenge for a crime that most likely never took place. During the same investigation, the spirit of John Briggs came angry when he was told the truth would come out. Everyone would finally know that he wrongfully aided and allowed his nephew to be hanged for a murder that never happened. From the amount of evidence captured, it seems fair to conclude that John Briggs caught wind of the tension between his sister and nephew, possibly lending credibility to a motive that Thomas wanted to get rid of Rebecca. Perhaps the spirit of Rebecca did visit John, but that fact remains he never once stated she actually named her killer or even that she was murdered. So what drove John Briggs to allow the execution of his sister's son? Could he have been afraid of backlash from the community after the rumors had already begun to spread? After all, it was not acceptable during that time to go against the status quo. Was he afraid of being implicated himself if he came to his nephew's defense? Or was there indeed a belief hidden within all the speculations that Thomas did commit murder? We may never know for sure, but the truth remains Thomas Cornell Jr. was convicted and executed on nothing more than circumstantial evidence backed by the incredible otherworldly witnesses. Visit a 300-year-old crime scene. There aren't many places in the U.S. where you can visit a suspected crime scene over 3 centuries old. However, the Valley Inn in Rhode Island is a historical destination not to be missed. Although the original home of the Cornells burned down in the mid-1800s, it was rebuilt by the Cornell family using the original blueprints of the first home, and it sits on the same exact foundation. In 1892, 200 years after Rebecca Cornell's death, the house was reconstructed and to replicate the original. Today, you can see the property and dine in the restaurant. The Cornell family cemetery is there as well, situated not far from the main house. And Thomas Cornell Jr.'s grave is believed to have been located recently using ground-penetrating radar. The property owner has said that not too many paranormal events happen, stating that periodically strange things do absolutely occur, though. The spirits that reside at the location seem to be pretty tame and keep to themselves. It's evident that the captivating story linked to the home draws many people to dine at the inn. The atmosphere alone transports people into another time. The stone walls and old wooden beams are original to the 19th century rebuild. It's truly a destination that should be experienced. And the striking resemblance to the Amityville house, with its arched upper floor windows, are sure to attract anyone's attention and intrigue. It's no wonder it's on many paranormal enthusiasts' bucket lists. After learning about it, it's definitely at the top of mine.
And that's the Valley Inn, correct?
The Portsmouth Valley Inn.
Okay. There may have been a segment on Unsolved Mysteries years ago about that. I think it showed like the bar and the restaurant where a chair came sliding over, and it actually showed an apparition, if that's the same place.
I do believe so, because I believe it stemmed from the Amityville house, which is also mentioned in there.
Okay. If you had a chance to go visit this place or the Amityville house, and this question's for all of you, would you do it?
Seth.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I visited probably more haunted places than it. Like in Bardstown, Kentucky at the Jailer's Inn. That's a really haunted place, literally an old jail. I mean, there's crazy stuff that happens there, man. So I'll definitely visit it for sure. I'll probably have investigated more haunted places than it.
Have you ever been to the old Kentucky State Pen?
No, sorry, man.
Or what about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium?
I wish. That's definitely on the bucket list.
What about you, Rebecca? If you could go to this inn or the Amityville house, would you do it, and why?
So old Rebecca would have jumped at that opportunity in a heartbeat, and definitely the Amityville house, because I've watched that movie several times. I used to be obsessed with fucking horror movies. Now, knowing what I know, no. We are not fucking with that energy. We are not disturbing anything. We will just.
I mean, but if you go, and I'm not talking about going and ghost hunting. Just if you had a chance to go walk through it, you wouldn't do it.
Because some of that architecture is actually really beautiful, like the Waverly Hospital.
I think I would do it. And I will tell you a good place to go visit is it's in Ohio. I can't remember the name of it. You can look it up, but it was the prison that they used for I can't think of the Stephen King movie.
Is that where a Ghost Adventures went?
The Green Mile was in Ohio.
No, it's not the Green Mile. It's the other one with Andy Dufresne. Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Not
Shawshank
Green Mile.
Redemption. Me and my son did go to that one about probably 4 years ago now. That was a really cool place to visit. I mean, because you just had total run of the place.
Yeah, well, I stopped there briefly. We didn't get to go in, but we did stop there. At one of my old jobs, we were going up to the Mack trailer plant in Ohio for me to inspect a couple trailers for a company, and I was like, "Oh my God, isn't that from the Shawshank Redemption?" And we just pulled off and we went in, and walked around the outside for a minute. But yeah, I would love to go back.
Yeah, no, I mean, we spent probably about 4 hours there. I mean, just because there were still some movie props left. The room that they used for the Brooks was here. That was actually on site. They had that there. And then they actually had some pictures in one section up where people had done ghost hunting, and it was just unbelievable.
So
it was really cool.
Have any of you heard of Penhurst Asylum?
I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so I used to live about 20 minutes away from Penhurst, and I found out about Penhurst. This is the only legitimate spooky place I've ever been to. Penhurst Asylum was a botched mental or insane asylum or mental hospital that they tortured the ever-living snot out of everyone that went through there, including about half the workers over time. And there was a lot of underground tunnels, similar to the Waverly Institute with the Death Tunnel. But Penhurst tunnels literally go out for miles because they had workers going to and from that because it was supposed to be a secret location. And I mean, this place literally is hidden off the beaten path. And they would go in and out these tunnels to and from work to have goods come in, go out. Like everything was done. No one ever showed up to the front door. and it was spooky for two different reasons. One of which the National Guard was doing a training exercise there, and I and a couple friends had gone in the one tunnel, and we peeked out, and we found out they were doing that exercise there. But the first time I was there, I swear we got chased by something for about a mile and a half through the one tunnel back out to Towpath Park. It was just a loud. Rebecca, you remember Charlotte's just ear piercing screams when she was like 2-3 months old on the table? It sounded like that. It was just toe curling, ear piercing scream out of nowhere. There was nothing in the lights, nowhere. If anyone has the chance to go to Penhurst, they have opened it up as a tourist attraction again, since like 2013 or 14, I believe. They do have haunted houses there. It's 6 main buildings on the property. I highly recommend going there if you get the chance. There are paranormal teams there all the time.
That's pretty cool. Rebecca, going to you for a second. You said you used to really be into horror movies. All right. The month of October, what is one horror movie that you would recommend a listener of our show to watch, and why?
Ooh, can I give you my top 3?
Yes, please, by all means.
Rose Red by Stephen King. It's like one of my favorite.
That's a good one.
One of my favorite. It's long, but oh god, it's good. Skeleton Key. That shit will fuck you up.
I don't think I've even heard of that one.
Me either.
It's with Kate Hudson, and it's about the like New Orleans voodoo, like old New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Like that one I might even watch again.
Can we watch it then? Because I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can watch it. I think it's on Hulu or it's on Peacock. I can't remember. I know I've seen it. And then my third,
The Ring.
no. Fuck The Ring. Is it the Covenant? Is it the Conjuring?
Yeah. The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Seth, what's your top 3?
Man, to be honest with you, watching scary movies, it just makes me laugh. I never really have been scared of any of them.
Wow.
Yeah, man. As a ghost hunter, man, I guess I've seen more scary stuff in real life than on what the movie portrays.
What about you, Dirty Dan? What's your top 3?
I mean, we talked about that.
Yeah, on the radio show.
Yeah, or I guess we're gonna talk about that on the radio show.
Yeah.
I'm with Seth. I'm that asshole that you get really pissed at, that's sitting in the back of a movie theater, absolutely rolling around, laughing, losing his mind because it doesn't scare me.
Okay. Well, I will give you my top 3. Number 3, Freddy versus Jason, just because. I mean, and yeah, it wasn't a scary movie, but it was hyped up, and those were like 2 of my favorites. And to finally see them face off, plus that movie had a great soundtrack. That's number 3. Number 2 on my list is the original 1978 version of Halloween. And number 1 will be Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, the original.
The one that comes to mind is The Exorcist.
Now, I have never watched all of that all the way, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Like Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. All of those are so ridiculous, they can't happen.
Right.
But when you get into the real shit, like The Exorcist and The Conjuring, I tend to stay away from those movies.
Well, and like being baptized and brought up as a Roman Catholic, it was scary for a whole different reason besides a scary movie.
Yeah, right. I've never got into those, and I have never saw The Exorcist all the way through. Never. So, and I've never saw The Omen, any of those.
Oh, really?
Never. Now, I do like Rosemary's Baby. Now, that is a good horror movie, scary. Have you ever saw that, Rebecca? Did you like it?
What's the scary movie with the motel?
Which one? Are you talking about Psycho?
Oh, please narrow it down.
No, the word motel is in the title.
Motel Hell.
Yeah.
That one has a huge cult following.
Yeah. That one is also scary for a whole different reason, and it's because of that cult following.
The Shining.
The Shining's a good movie.
Yes, it
The
is.
Shining. Interesting. The Shining's on the map.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about The Shining on the map?
It's above the moon because actually they briefly talked about it on a podcast that you did when I listened to when you were interviewing about Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
And his rendition, his recording of The Shining, there's certain things that were changed from the original text by Stephen King to hint towards the moon landing being faked.
Yes. We did. I had no idea The Shining was on the map.
Mm-hmm. The Shining and Stanley Kubrick are above the moon on there.
I knew Stanley Kubrick
was. Yeah.
I didn't realize The Shining was on there.
Moving on, Demi Lovato's on a hunt for UFOs and says they saw things they can't explain.
Like Demi Lovato, the singer.
Is this her new California sober thing?
Oh no, this is she had done this last year with Dr. Stephen Greer, but I think she's doing it her by herself now. And I think this
before or after the overdose.
After.
Yeah, it'd be at the overdose was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Time does not exist. Okay, I don't.
Demi Lovato is searching for out of this world encounters on a new Peacock show investigating UFO phenomenon. The pop star, actor, and activist has gone off the usual path in the search for a close encounter of the third kind in a 4-part Peacock docuseries titled Unidentified with Demi Lovato, in which they investigate the UFO phenomenon. Basically, we went out with equipment and meditated and tried to make contact. And you'll have to watch the show, Lovato told an interviewer that aired Thursday on the Today Show. This show is available to stream Thursday, involves interviewing alien abductees, poring over government reports, and going to UFO hotspots where eyewitnesses have reported strange activity in the sky. Lovato, 29, is joined by her sister, Dallas Lovato, and good friend Matthew Scott on their journey. When I say make contact, I don't mean like touching fingers with an ET, Lovato said. What I mean was making contact is just by putting the intention out there into the universe, and you will see something from another world. Now, what Dr. Stephen Greer had her doing last year, they were going out in the desert, him and her and a bunch of more people, and they were meditating and they were using high beam lasers. And one of Stephen Greer's documentaries is really good. I can't remember which one was really good. The other one bored me to sleep, the one that came out after. But they were using high beam lasers, and you can actually see when their stuff does attract and come to those. But the whole meditating and calling them there, I'm not convinced that works. What do you guys think about that?
What's the show called again?
It's on Peacock, and it's called something with Demi, Unidentified with Demi Lovato.
Because I pulled Peacock up on my phone, and I'm going to look it up.
Now,
oh, geez.
I wonder why you guys have the Peacock app. I know exactly why you have the Peacock app, so you can watch The Office.
Yeah, because Netflix sucks, and as soon as they took The Office off of Netflix, you bet I canceled that shit. Nope, I don't play those fucking games.
And then I downloaded Peacock, and we got it, and then it had commercials. And the moment I saw it had commercials, it said "fuck that" and bought the premium subscription.
Is it okay? How much is the premium subscription?
It's severely cheaper than Netflix. I think like the premium one, like there's two different subscriptions.
$6.
Yeah, it was $7.99, and the other one was $3.99 a month.
Dude, I have bought so much. I've got Hulu, I've got AMC Plus, I've got Stars, and this is all within the past 3 weeks of me.
You wanna know what I think we should start doing is we
What's
should
that?
just like have like some master accounts and just have people like make different accounts off, like share the password and the fucking login and put the companies out of business.
That's a good
Because-
idea, but
right?
on some of them, you can only like log in 5 different people, I
That's
think.
fine.
Well, that was Netflix's old rendition.
5 less monthly payments they're getting.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I still have YouTube Red for some reason. I don't know why.
I love YouTube Red.
And I think the reason I still have it is because you can play YouTube videos and actually close your screen out, and they still play it.
So,
And there's no commercials.
In a time long ago in a land far away, when the YouTube app first came out, that was free of charge to do.
Yeah.
It was like that for like 2.5 years, and then when the iPhone 4s came out, they took that off. That was no longer a feature.
Changed it around.
Yep.
Let's see.
Tommy bastards.
Moving on here with a Space Force story. Space Force moves ahead with a mission. Space Force is the newest military branch in the United States military and is preparing to launch its next mission. It plans on adding more satellites to Earth orbits to detect and track missiles that can often fly under the radar. Space Force leadership says the cost to launch this warfighting technology is decreasing, but the competition to use is growing rapidly across the world. Dr. Derek Turner says the Space Force is a year away from doing just that with dozens of military satellites. The only way we're going to be able to do this is because the affordability of satellites have gone way down. Because of partnerships with the growing commercial space industry, Turner says the cost of a single satellite can be as low as $14 million instead of billions of dollars.
Thank you, Elon Musk at SpaceX, my boy.
Yes. Turner also says that the cost to launch satellites into orbit will also drop from hundreds of millions to tens of millions. That is the Space Force goal for 2024 and beyond. It's to keep pace with countries like China and Russia, who also have an interest in space defense. And that is some of the latest science and tech news, Demi Lovato, all that good stuff.
Did her music scare the aliens away?
Probably. You know, I could not name a Demi Lovato song if I had to. I can't.
She did one with Fall Out Boy, and it's only because I'm a Fall Out Boy fan. That's the only reason I know that.
What was the name of it?
I have no fucking idea. I just remember the music video, like, and it is a super, super like eye-opening music video because they're all like puppets in a toy store, and she's like going around and picking them up and manipulating them, like knowing everything and being where I'm at now and knowing the music video, like.
Now, is she actually? Go ahead, Rebecca.
No, say it.
I said it's funny that you guys are talking about this because in chat on Twitch, we're talking about all of like the movies and like shows like Family Guy and American Dad with like truth bombs. And like, you're just looking for shit now when you watch stuff and being aware of everything. You're like, holy shit, they've known the whole time.
Well, I've long said that Seth MacFarlane is way ahead of his time in this universe because that man just somehow alludes to everything years and years before it ever comes to fruition.
Oh, like the one where they had James Woods on there and he went to the Hollywood hospital and they fucking sucked a teenage girl's life out of her and pumped it into James Woods' dead body. Like, okay. Okay. And that came out in 2012, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Dirty Dan, talking about that video real quick. And Seth, if you're familiar with the video, you may know the answer to this. When you say she's controlling them as puppets, are they string puppets or does she have her hand up their butt controlling them?
It's not.
So it would be a puppet versus a marionette.
Oh, okay. Okay. So she actually has her hand up their butt controlling them then.
No.
Okay. So they're married.
I don't listen to Demi.
Oh, Irresistible. That's the name of it.
Okay. Never heard of it. Let's see. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to have a Ned said, and when we come back, we're going straight into segment 2 with our first guest ghost story with Chris Sloan of the Mountain Mysteries podcast. We'll be back at segment 3 to close things out. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. We'll be back in a few minutes. Got that stopped.
So it starts out, the music video starts out with him making like fun of almost the NSYNC ones. Because what music video were they the puppets with the strings?
No strings attached.
That would make sense. And then it turns into them being like fictionalized into little toy characters. It's super fucking like cult ritualistic. It is.
Can we just talk about how all concerts and performances by anybody associated with the Illuminati now is a fucking goddamn sacrificial ritual?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Here it goes. I'm just over here having my mind blown per usual when I hang out with y'all. Nothing new.
Who said that?
Sarah.
Oh.
I'm going to step away just for a minute and use the restroom. I'll be right back.
I'm going to come down quick and have a smoke.
Do you want me to pause the recording?
Yeah. Go ahead and pause the recording. Well, if you're going to smoke, give me like 5 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Read that. Nope. Go.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, Goose.
Yes.
What do you know about Mind Goblin?
Very little, I guess. Mind Goblin.
Yeah, Mind Goblin, these nuts.
I like that. We're going to have a segment soon of just like jokes.
Of just inappropriate NSFW.
There you go. When we come back in segment 3, though, Rebecca, we'll start out and we'll let you plug mine and your show, and we'll tell that we did record one, but there's just some stuff going on behind the scenes that will be, maybe releasing that one later at a later time or something. And
you can always do like another short one if you want to still drop something.
I think we can come back and explain, and also when you do that, I'm going to explain about the midweek moment. And I'll probably, if I get time this week, take the ones that we done, but I'm going to take the video out and just have like Dirty Dan's picture there. That way, and I think I can edit them where I've already posted them because we had some good comments and stuff from Luke and other people. So
I'll send you the other midweek moment today, Goose.
Okay. But I'm going to try to do that this week without actually taking them down and re-uploading.
Yeah.
Seth, after she gets done plugging the stuff, you plug your show. Plug your new segment that's on. Remember, it's going to be on the radio show in October. In November, it will be on both the podcast and radio show. Yeah. So, Mysterious Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, yeah. I listened to the whole entire episode. That was a pretty good episode, man.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that. We actually recorded that one last Sunday evening. Normally, we record on Mondays, but we did that one last Sunday.
Is that it? It's segment 3, and then we're done?
Yep. Then we'll be done. So,
okay.
Because the segment 2 interview, I edited it down some, but I think it's still like right at 45 minutes, between 40 and 45 minutes.
Am I allowed to plug? Can I give Fed Up Gear a shout out?
Yeah. You can plug whatever you want to.
Okay.
Oh, let me know when you guys are ready. I'll hit record, and when I point at the screen, Rebecca, you bring us back. Everybody ready?
Wait, why am I doing it?
Well, you can bring us back. You just, hey, welcome back.
Okay.
All right. We are recording.
Welcome back.
Here to chew bubblegum.
With the Flockers.
And Seth Ambergy.
Of Seth's
And
Daily
Goose.
Podcast.
And Goose, thank you, Rebecca. I've enjoyed this. This has been a good show. I want to thank Chris Sloan for coming in to the headquarters a few weeks ago And we be sure to check out the Mountain Mysteries Podcast.com. And Chris, I think he drops a new episode every Thursday, and he's even doing some live stuff. But thank you very much, Chris, for coming in. Again, that's the Mountain Mysteries Podcast.com. Rebecca, we started doing Honest Rebecca Thoughts and dropping those on Friday morning. This Friday morning, we didn't have one. We have some stuff going on behind the scenes, and it wasn't because we didn't record anything. We actually do have one recorded that we may play. That we may play that one later. Correct?
Yeah.
And you can look for a new one next Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that is Here to Chew Bubblegum, Get Real meets Honest Rebecca Thoughts, right? Is that the title that we finally decided on? Or no, you've changed it?
No, it's
changed every episode.
It's not changed every episode. It's called Honest Rebecca Thoughts, but I will start labeling it when we upload it as Here to Chew Bubblegum presents Honest Rebecca Thoughts with Rebecca Short meets Get Real with Goose or something.
Oh my God, it's so long.
That's what she said.
And Dirty Dan, we had some problems with our midweek moment. We had to take those down. We're going to get those back up, but you do have another one coming up this week, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you think about the one before we took it down that had the mailbox? Luke Fugit doing the telling us why they had a gigantic blue horse mailbox in my hometown of Hyman, Kentucky.
Well, I thought that was all interesting, but then you have some other knowledge that you're going to share with it.
Yeah. Well, there's actually an anvil that's also dedicated to that guy, and it's not too far from where Seth's at.
And I don't know if you know this, I'm actually half Pratt.
Oh, I did know that. I did know that. So you were related to the guy, the Irving, I guess, that delivered mail on horseback.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Well, you can always say, yeah, I was related to him.
I will say this. He was from the same part of Knott County as what my family is.
Yeah. And he delivered mail on horseback until 1978 when he fell off the horse and had to retire.
I'm curious what Rebecca's got going on right now. She just freaked out a little bit.
Well, maybe it was a good freak out, but
it was.
See, it was a good freak out.
So Emmy just came up with the best title. Honestly, Get Real with Rebecca and Goose.
Oh, I like that. No,
hey,
I might actually make new opening credits for that one. I like that
I
one.
wrote it down.
Good. You have to text that to me.
I will.
But
honestly, we're just chewing bubblegum. Oh, they're getting good. Continue. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. I am going to soon. I was going to try to do it today, get out and shoot some video in our area, just for the midweek moment. You know, we've had people asking questions before about, you know, the area that I'm from and this and that. And I was going to try to shoot some video. It's raining today really bad, so I'm not going to do that this week, but that will be coming up in some future midweek moments because Seth, I actually showed Rebecca, I guess a couple of weeks ago, the Mother Goose house. She had never saw it, never heard of it. That's a national like landmark.
National treasure, man.
Yeah.
Glad they got it back up.
I am too, because its neck actually broke off. So have you saw pictures of that, Dirty Dan? The Mother Goose house in Hazard, Kentucky. Dirty Dan. He's either lagged or he's just sitting there. Okay, we evidently had some problems there. It says I am the host now. Seth, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you do have technical difficulties sometimes. Seth, tell us about the mysterious Appalachian Mountains segment.
Oh yeah, man, the mysterious Appalachian Mountains with Seth and Earl, man. It's definitely first off, I want to say thank you for the opportunity, man.
Oh, it's no problem, brother. Happy to have you on there.
Yeah, man, and definitely me and Earl definitely appreciate you guys having us on. And it's not just me, man. We actually got a Bigfoot researcher, man, from here in Eastern Kentucky that gives his input on the stories and stuff, man. And he definitely is way more knowledgeable about Bigfoot than me. So I mean, I just read the stories. I give my unprofessional opinion, and he gives his expert opinion on the stories.
Yeah, and you can hear the mysterious Appalachian Mountains starting this month on the Here to Chew Bubblegum radio shows. In November, it will be on the radio shows and the podcast show as well. Dirty Dan and Rebecca, welcome back. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. It's like my all of the internet just cut out. Like my camera stopped working, my Twitch stopped working. I just restarted the one thing that we have. We've been having some issues with that. So
Okay.
I do apologize. So I'm sorry if there's a glitch in that recording.
No, that's no problem. It actually kept recording. It just said that I was the host and we just kept on rolling. Dirty Dan,
Okay.
Are you there? Can you hear us okay? I think your mic's muted, sir. You have to unmute it.
Yes. Thank you.
Be professional, Dirty Dan. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
But we were just talking about the mysterious Appalachian Mountains segment that Seth is graciously doing for us on the radio shows, and you know, I am fascinated with Bigfoot. I've not done a lot on the show with Bigfoot. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just waving hi as Bigfoot.
Oh, okay. Very good. Touche, my friend. Touche. If you've got more than one Bigfoot, are they big feet or are they still two Bigfoot?
Well, Bigfoot just has 2 big feet.
Okay. Seth, what's your vote? Would they be one Bigfoot or 2 big feet?
I don't know, man. You'd have to ask the expert Earl.
But I want to thank Seth for coming on the show today. Thanks for Rebecca, Dirty Dan being here as usual. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. Or how can they email us, Dirty Dan?
Well, they can email us at goose@heretotchewbubblegum.com, Dirty Dan @heretotchewbubblegum.com, and Rebecca @heretotchewbubblegum.com. You can also email Ned or Elliot @heretotchewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
Yes, you can. And before you get started, I think Rebecca wants to give a shout out to somebody, correct?
I do. It kind of ties into what Dirty Dan is promoting this week as well. But I want to say I do have, for those of you that don't know, my new TikTok. It's at Honest Rebecca Thoughts. I have that one, and then I have at Short Shit Show 138 is the new one, and so far so good. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. And then all of my links are in my link tree for that. But I did have someone reach out to me to do a merch collaboration. He does do his own merch and everything like that. That's his thing. And it is Fed Up Gear. And his stuff is also linked in my link tree, but it's fedupgear.com. And we did oh shit, what was the thing? I just ordered it.
You ordered a hoodie.
Like this, we are flocking fed up together is the slogan on it with the flamingo. And 10% of all of his profits go immediately to the Semper Fi Foundation.
That is cool. Dirty Dan, my friend, take it away.
Yes, sir. So this week, again, we would like to recognize the group for their amazing work called the Till Valhalla Project. Established in 2017, rocking the slogan "Where Heroes Live On Forever" under their wonderful tribute of a logo. The TVP team is all about bringing and spreading awareness to help our vets and soldiers' needs. The ones who devote and sacrifice their time to protect our lives and freedoms, and sometimes, and all too much, unfortunately, give the ultimate sacrifice of their own lives for us. Representative from there, Julia, was quoted saying, "Our mission is to do whatever it takes, anything to get our name out and the purpose to the masses. The sale of these products is obviously going to make a difference, but the conversations and awareness they bring to lessen the 22 a day plus 1 active duty suicide is more significant than any monetary donation. We need to support each other, most notably our brothers and sisters and the families that were left behind." Starting in 2019, the Till Valhalla Project donates an additional 20% of net proceeds towards reducing veteran suicide. And as of several weeks ago, they actually broke the $1 million raised in under 2 full years.
That's awesome.
Veteran suicide is a plague, and they are making their stand to stop it as much as they can. I'm actually rocking their 22 a day shirt. I will stand up here.
That's awesome. That is a very, very cool organization. Very cool shirt.
They also make memorial plaques for every fallen soldier and vet. And it is a very beautiful piece, and every one of them is donated. There is no money that anyone has ever charged for them. They do that out of the kindness of their own hearts. That's not including the money that they've raised to send to the 22 a day foundation. And they have rewarded, when they broke the sale that broke the $1 millionth was actually a vet, and they have treated him and his entire family, all that he could gather, to a very special time. So they really do try and help and reach out to any and all who have served or are serving, to just let them know, hey, you're not alone. And one of their shirts actually has a very, very strong message on it. It says, I can't promise to fix your problems, but I can promise you won't face them alone. And it's not just veteran suicide or active duty. It's all suicide. It says end all suicide on it. Being someone who struggled with that myself, people, there are always family and friends and other people, even strangers out there willing to listen. If you ever need to talk to someone, just reach out. Just reach out.
And don't forget about Adventures with Purpose, correct?
Yes. Jared and Dan, go ahead and look them up. YouTube, AWP Adventures with Purpose, or adventureswithpurpose.com. I
want to say special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work. And don't forget about the new Midlife Crisis album, Have a Little Faith, available now on CD, USB stick, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and much more. Some titles from the album, title tracks. Really good album as well. Runaway, Falling, I Wish, It's Only Love, Prepare Your Heart, and Save Me. Again, you can pick up the new Midlife Crisis album, available now on CD, USB stick, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and much more. Be sure to check out and support our friends with their own shows. CK and Uncle Bill at deadpit.com, Talk Junkie with Justin Perkins, Jordan and Brad of Down on the Holler, Seth Ambergy with Seth's Daily Podcast. And Seth, thank you very much for being on the show today. Don't forget about Elliot Gertie and Beagle over at the spookyfamilypodcast.com and the Mountain Mysteries podcast with Chris Sloan. And also check out, if you miss Cronkite, he's now known as Paranormal Trucker. You could check him, Snowman, and Large Marge out over at Paranormal Trucker. If you want to awaken more, check out Rebecca Short on TikTok and Honest Rebecca Thoughts on Twitch. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Block her out.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.
And that has got us. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
absolutely glad you could join, Seth.
Can't wait to have you guys on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it, buddy. Looking forward to it. I'm going to go ahead and edit this show. I think we'll be between 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
We're at 150 right now.
Okay.
So you got to think about his 45-minute interview.
So yeah, we'll be probably right at the 2.5 minute mark, or 2 hours and a half mark. So that's a good one. So I appreciate it, everybody. Dirty Dan, tomorrow radio show. I'll email you all your stuff. So
word.
I'm going to hop off here and put the show together, and I will see you guys later. And Seth, thanks again. Rebecca, love you. Dirty Dan, love you. Seth, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
Absolutely.